Hey guys, most of the cutting boards I make are 1.25 inches or thicker. They tend to be heavy boards, so one thing I like to do is I like to use my router and route handles on each side of it. It makes it easier for the user to pick it up and carry it around, and I feel like it adds a nice looking characteristic to the board as well. So I thought I'd share with you the bits that I use, the jig template that I use, and the process that I route these. So here you go. Let me move this camera here. Alright, the two bits that I use, I start with a 1/2 inch spiral bit. I use this because it cuts really clean, and I use this to remove most of the material, and then I'll follow that up with this 3/4 straight double flute bit. Now I use this because just preference. When I route the handle out, I like that radius to have this 3/4 radius to it. I feel like the 1/2 inch just really isn't big enough, or doesn't look the way that I like it to look. So I'll use this 3/4 to trim everything out. I don't do this 3/4 the whole way because honestly these double, whatever you call them, these straight double flute bits, I don't know, they tend to not cut as clean naturally as a spiral bit does. Realistically, I should get a 3/4 inch spiral bit, but you know, router bits are expensive and I spend plenty on other tools. So for the time being, this is how I do it. If you want to get a 3/4 inch or spiral bit, or you're fine with a little 1/2 inch radius, the spiral bit will work just fine for you. The template I use is, I had a cheap shelf from an old cabinet that I just cut up and glued this together. It's nothing fancy, but I got a little line here to mark my center. So what I'll do is I'll mark the center of the board, and this sits back, I believe it's 3 3/4 inches. So then I'll get that lined up on here, and then I know my distance from the edge of my router to the center of my bit. So that allows me, once I'm in here, I just basically come in and I do little bits at a time, straight passes across. I'll come in, take a little bit off, I come back over and work this way. You know, you're always supposed to be working counterclockwise around your material due to the nature of the rotation of the router. So I keep coming in, I'll just keep working my way through with the spiral bit. Once I get done with that, like I said, I'll switch over to the 3/4 and I'll finish it up. So let me get the bits set up here, and we'll get started. Okay, so we have the spiral bit installed in the router here. I generally like to make my handles 3/4 inch deep. So normally the spiral bit, I'll start with a depth of 5/8, and then I'll come in with the second bit at 3/4. However, this that's generally 1.5 inch boards and thicker. This board's only 1 3/8 inches, so I'm only going to make the handle 5/8 of an inch deep. So to start with the spiral bit, we're going to set that at a 1/2 inch. To measure that, I use this Wixie digital gauge readout. Love it. If you don't have one, you should pick it up. But as you can see there, it's set right at 1/2 inch. Alright, and then we're going to set that off to the side. Move the camera down here. We're going to set the template up. Okay, so I know this board is 11 1/4 inches wide, so we're going to measure to the center point here. all I'm doing that mark for is because I want to make sure that my center line on this template here is lined right up the center of the board. Alright, now we're going to run this pass. Okay, you can see the first pass there. You're getting an idea of what the handle's going to look like. And like I said, it's not as big as it's going to be because when we put the 3/4 bit on, it's going to start cutting away some more. So let me go ahead and switch that bit and get right back to you. Alright, so we have the 3/4 bit on now. I used my Wixie digital readout gauge to measure, make sure that I'm at 5/8 of an inch depth, and we're going to get started. Let's see if we can bring the camera over here so you can see what we got now. So there you go. That's your handle. As you can see, it's fairly good size. I don't have gigantic hands, but they're also not small hands either. So you can see it's a good size handle to pick the boards up. So I hope that helps you out. If you have any questions, feel free to message me.